All right, now to some brand new information on the collapse of the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Workers are standing by right now to remove a second piece of that bridge structure from the collapse site. You can see the work taking place right there. The wreckage is being moved by a barge downstream to the Trade Point Atlantic Logistics Center where they're going to be inspected. Crews cut away the first piece over the weekend. The dolly is tangled in more than 3,000 tons of debris.
It's incredible to see how tedious and hard that job is.
It's a lot of work.
By the way, today we did learn that President Biden plans to travel to Baltimore on Friday. Our Scott Broom is live in Baltimore tonight, and he picks up the story from there. Scott?
Yeah, the next piece they may lift as early as later this afternoon. It should be 350 tons. Meanwhile, we believe we have seen the first commercial non-disaster related traffic leaving Baltimore Harbor. It was a barge. We'll show you photographs of that very shortly because of side channels that have been cut. Authorities here said at least 2 more big barges may be coming in tonight as the Port of Baltimore crawls towards being reopened.
Engineers continue to cut steel and concrete in an attempt to make a late-day lift this afternoon of bridge wreckage from Baltimore's harbor. The next piece will be more than 300 tons. The first piece, a 200-ton section, was removed from the harbor Saturday. Meanwhile, the Coast Guard is marking new channels to allow smaller commercial traffic in and out of Baltimore's harbor for the first time. Among the first out, a heavy barge headed for the Chesapeake this afternoon. But a caution from the Coast Guard Rear Admiral in charge.
And what we're finding is it is more complicated than we had hoped for initially. These are still girders, unlike the steel girders that you can see that are above the waterline still, which have significant damage. Below the waterline, along the bottom, is very challenging because these girders are essentially tangled together, intertwined.
We are talking about tons of steel that is mangled and cantilevered.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore saying progress is being made.
We're talking about 200 tons. We're talking about something that is almost the size of the Statue of Liberty. And what the Admiral said is right. It's a small piece of what we're talking about.
But there was this warning this afternoon from Maryland's Transportation Secretary that tomorrow may bring big challenges with traffic here on land.
Tomorrow we expect heavy traffic in the Baltimore region during the morning and evening rush hours as students head back to class and commuters return to their routines. Wet weather is also expected through Wednesday, which will impact commuting times. I strongly recommend everyone to prepare for extra travel time.
Extra state police, extra Maryland Department of Transportation crash trucks on duty to manage traffic tomorrow. Back live now looking at the bridge. As we learned late this afternoon in federal court in Greenbelt that the owners of the ship Dolly have filed a motion in federal court to limit their liability. We already know the federal government has sent an emergency check for more than $60 million. The ship's owners have filed paperwork in federal court in the Northern District of Maryland to limit their liability to $42.6 million. So the posturing over finances and who's going to pay for this have already begun. Reporting live in Baltimore, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
It hasn't even been a week yet.
Meanwhile, we still have 4 people who have not been recovered yet, and we think of their families in this situation. Scott, thank you.